While Fuller House may be a family show, the Fullest House Podcast is not. Listener discretion is advised. Hello and welcome to the Fullest House Podcast, where one of us is going to bite a child. Anyway, I'm Zach Horowitz.
I'm Mark Greene.
And I'm Harrison Bloom, and I will be biting that child.
Yeah, you thought it was going to be me because I hate babies.
I was thinking we were just going to keep it a mystery, but it seems like both of you really want to bite children. I was not expecting this.
There is a child that stole a lollipop from me. It has it coming.
Harrison, that was me. That was me, and that was 15 years ago. You gotta get over it.
No, Zach, this was a different child. This happened 3 days ago.
Harrison, why can't you hang on to your lollipops?
I've been through so much trauma, Mark. I do not need your criticism.
I'm sorry. And I just want to make it clear, because I know there's some confusion about this matter. I don't hate babies. I hate one baby.
I feel like it's a little late for that, considering we are well into the final season of the show, and we have talked about you hating babies since episode 1.
It's just Tommy. I just don't like Tommy. I am on the record. You can go through past episodes. I'm pro Danny. I'm pro Danielle Tanner. She has not spited me. Like Max, I'm a little mixed on, but he's not a baby. He's a child. As
we all know, the past tense of bited. The past tense of bited.
Did I say that?
Yes.
I think so.
Yeah. Yes, you did.
You said bited.
Yeah.
I don't even remember saying bite. Am I losing my mind? I was saying I'm on the record as being pro Danielle Tanner. I said I'm a little mixed on Max.
No,
if you're losing your mind a minute into the episode, this is gonna be a fun one.
Spited. I said spited.
Spited. Okay, I didn't hear that.
You can't listen to me and then you accuse me of saying I was saying spite.
Okay, Mark.
She hasn't bited me yet. No, this is about one of us biting a baby. No babies have bitten us. Guys, I was saying the word spite. Anyway.
Okay.
Stephanie and Danielle are arriving home.
They went on tour with Lisa Loeb, famous musician Lisa Loeb.
I wonder why Danielle went with Steph. I mean,
yeah. Why did she bring the baby?
Remember when Jimmy had to quit his job so he could be home for the baby?
And then Steph took the baby to Albuquerque?
It's so weird. In fairness, she does say it was only a couple days, but...
True.
Also, taking a baby to Albuquerque, I mean, wow. I mean, that's
taking a baby on tour is just not a good idea.
I make that Albuquerque joke, but this episode does have some weird hatred of Albuquerque, New Mexico.
That's just one line where they dunk on Albuquerque.
Yeah.
But we're getting ahead of ourselves. Steph is coming home from the tour, and Jimmy is just being the best boy, the best fiance, and set up this whole entire thing for Steph. Once she gets home, he has like a bubble bath. He has a banner for her and Danny. Mark wants to hop in.
No, I was saying he has a banner. He has gotten her favorite champagne, which is beer.
Steph is a mess.
Steph is a mess.
We're back on the
Steph
pattern.
is a mess. We got it. They missed an episode of Steph is a mess in the first scene, but we got it this episode.
Yeah.
Favorite champagne
right
is
at
beer.
The beginning.
You know, technically it's not champagne if the beer doesn't come from that specific region of France, right?
Also, I mean, Miller High Life does call itself the champagne of beer, so maybe she's just drinking Miller High Life.
Well, technically it's not Miller High Life unless it comes from Miller High Life, France.
Yeah.
You can cut out that first joke, Tyler. The second one was better.
So anyways, someone opens the door and they're like, oh my god, Steph is gonna be here. And they're like, oh my god, surprise. And they shoot confetti, but it's not Steph.
How many times are they going to do
Gibbler.
that joke?
As many times as it takes.
This is what, the 10th time that they've done. We have a surprise for someone. They're coming. Uh-oh, it's not them. And by the way, this time there's like some back and forth with Kimmy for a second. And then Steph walks in through the kitchen. And it's like, it doesn't impact anything.
Yeah.
You could have cut out that one quote unquote twist and nothing would have changed.
Yeah.
Like they surprise Kimmy instead. Kimmy decides to use this opportunity to declare a war on clowns. And then Steph walks in through the kitchen and everything is fine.
And we're not going to get into the war on clowns more. We're not going to explain that more.
No, the show doesn't get into it, so we're not going to.
Yeah, okay, but here's the thing. We're not going to explain it. We're just going to speculate. Do you think that it's like there's a country of clowns and we're invading it?
Yes, Clownmania.
And so it's like real like trench warfare, etc. Or is it like a fantasy epic?
Guys, how can you be so ignorant of clown history? Didn't you ever take HSTRY 303, the history of the clown war? Come on, guys. Clown culture has been persecuted.
Harrison, it didn't fit into my schedule.
I love how you abbreviated history, and it took more time for you to say the abbreviation than to just say history.
Well, I assume that's the university's like code for the class.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Right. But you could just say history.
Well, he needed anyone listening to know that it's a worthwhile course to take.
Yeah.
Professor Giggles is amazing.
He really is. He inspires us so much and makes us all laugh.
Again, it didn't fit into my schedule. I was taking history of mimes instead. I really regret it because Professor Jean-Claude Pierre was not very good. He did not tell us anything. He just stood there in front of the class pretending to be in a box. Then sometimes he'd get out of the box and you'd be like, oh, he's going to start teaching. He's going to say something to us. And then he'd start walking as if there was a gust of wind in the classroom. God. And there was never a gust of wind. This guy... And he gave me and we didn't do anything. And he didn't give us a midterm because he was very, he sent an email oh, I really haven't gone over much. And he gave us all a B+.
What the fuck?
Just give us an A if you're not going to.
You didn't.
Anyway,
I love the idea that a mime is still a mime in class, but he will still write professional emails.
Yeah.
Well, once he's out of the classroom, he's off work. He can talk then.
Yeah.
Once the makeup comes off, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, I do not recommend History of Mimes.
But
with
History
Professor
of
Jean-Claude
Clowns
Pierre.
with Professor Giggles is wonderful.
Oh my god, I just wanted to see how long Mark could keep that bit going for, and that was wonderful. But yes, Jimmy is out here being the best fiance, and Steph is like, oh my god, thank you. And to celebrate, I got you something. I got you this half-eaten bag of peanuts from the airplane. Huh? Aren't I the best? Am I right, Jimmy? Am I right? Please.
She's a great fiance.
In her defense, she's marrying the right person because Jimmy is like, you are the best. This is like Christmas in December.
Which there's so much to digest with that one statement alone.
Yeah. I mean, this is a guy who loves Christmas more than life itself, based on previous episodes. also, a man who's going to get caught up in the middle of the clown war. Remember his idol, the clown?
Right.
Yeah.
The clown that had beef with his fiance?
That's Sudsy. Right. Oh, yeah. The ongoing clown war, the secret clown war going on with Stephanie.
Is Jimmy Gibbler a double agent in the clown war?
His real name is Professor Bop.
Professor Bop.
Yeah. Bop Biggles.
I'd like to think he's Professor Bop and his entire act is very boring.
Yes.
He's just in front of a group of children being like, so if you look at the chart.
It's just a clown who shows up to class in a suit and tie, but from the his entire face is still clown makeup-y.
Yeah.
Oh, but he still has
the clown afro. Yeah. It's from the neck up and the ankles down, he's in clown mode, but everything else is just businessman.
3-piece suit.
Yes.
But anyway, Steph is not an attentive partner, but Jimmy loves her very much. Next scene. Guys, you know what time it is.
Mark, what time is it?
Why, it's Flea Dip week at GJ's veterinary
clinic.
Oh
my god, that's my favorite time of the year. It's like Christmas in December.
I didn't mean to say that at the same time as you.
I'm glad it did. It was a happy accident, as Bob Ross would say.
Yeah, but that's right. It's everyone's favorite time of year. It's beginning to look a lot like Flea Dip Week.
It's beginning to look a lot like Flea Dip Week.
Fleas in every dog.
And the dogs are gonna get rid of fleas, and we're gonna have a musical bit, and it's gonna be great. Musical
All
bits.
I want for Flea Dip Week is you. Musical bits.
My God. Musical bits.
Could do that all day, but I won't.
I could do that all day. Do it. No.
It's Flea Dip Week, which means that DJ is going to be rolling in that dough. And because
it's her busiest time of the year.
Yeah. Nobody else is excited for her. Because why would anyone else get excited about that?
My next note is completely unrelated because nobody else is excited for her.
But look. No one's excited about Flea Dip Week, but something else happens that is very excited. That is very exciting. I can't talk.
What happened?
Because TV's John Stamos, Uncle Jesse from Full House,
really
enters the scene.
Actor John Stamos shows up on Fuller House.
He's in
That's
this
crazy.
episode?
He played
TV's
Uncle
John
Jesse.
Stamos.
What? And he was with the Beach Boys. Like that crushes the reality of the show that the actor who played the character, that would be the most daring move that's ever happened on a sitcom, to bring in the actor who played the character. And I'm looking at my notes now. You meant that Uncle Jesse is here.
Yeah, well, I mean, I got confused with the episode where Uncle Jesse meets TV's John Stamos.
They should have done that.
The green screen
so
technology
good.
in that episode was so good.
I mean, it's brought up multiple times that the actors who play these characters exist in the Full House universe.
Yep.
So theoretically we can have an episode where Danny Tanner meets Bob Saget and Uncle Jesse meets John Stamos. It could happen.
It could happen. I hope it happens. I hope they bring back Fuller House for one more season just to do that episode.
Just for the one episode. It's just like a special episode they do. It's a one-off.
But yep, TV's John Stamos as Full House's Uncle Jesse is here with his daughter Pamela and not his wife Becky.
Because she is, quote unquote, helping her mother in, I repeat, quote unquote, Nebraska.
Nebraska.
Which we were not buying at all.
Well, it says on IMDb that Lori Loughlin was not invited back to the show after season 4 due to the fact that due to her criminal incident involving college bribery is the terminology they use. They use the term criminal incident.
Zach, you're telling me there was some sort of criminal incident involving Lori Loughlin?
I know. I'm just as surprised as you are.
How has this never come up on the podcast before now?
I feel like, if there was some kind of incident with Lori Loughlin, we would have mentioned it by now.
Yeah.
I would have thought so. I would love to have been a fly on the wall on the day that the news broke out and the Fuller House group chat exploded with them asking what the heck happened to Lori and why is she been arrested.
But yeah, he says Becky is in Nebraska helping out her mother. I still think that's a lie. I don't think Becky the character is in prison. I think Becky the character left Jesse and he's handling it poorly, which would explain a lot of his behavior
in this episode particularly.
Crazy in this episode.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
I feel like
so
every episode that Uncle Jesse has been in over the past several seasons, he is falling deeper and deeper into a midlife crisis.
Yeah.
It's every successive time he gets more midlife crisis.
Yeah, it's so weird. I mean, first there was the baby, but I mean, this takes it to a whole new level where basically his daughter got bit at school and he intends on taking vigilante justice out on the child by biting them.
You see, it's very fitting because, Jesse is taking justice into his own hands by trying to find the biter. And meanwhile, Aunt Becky is being served justice in prison.
Well, it's funny because when they mention Becky, Jesse is saying, some kid bit Pamela yesterday, and I'm gonna find out who it is and punish him myself. He's gonna get bit in retaliation. And DJ is like, you can't do that. Leave it to the teachers. Things are different nowadays. And Jay says, no, I'm gonna take it into my own hands the way I always did. And DJ said, like, have you run this by Becky yet? Because I'm pretty sure she'll tell you to do what I'm saying.
And when they brought up Aunt Becky, all of us were just like, oh, here it comes. Here it comes. They're going to make a prison joke.
But the thing is, there's such a funny level to it now because it's like, yes, Aunt Becky, who famously is very good at dealing with things with her kids.
Yeah.
She's not hands-on in terms.
Well, let's not forget, even in like previous seasons, which I'm guessing were filmed before the incident happened, there are several episodes in which Jesse is there with his child and Aunt Becky is not there.
Oh yeah.
Becky just leaves him with the child. It was her idea to adopt. She was was egging him on for an entire season to adopt a kid and then just left him with the responsibility.
That's what I find so funny about the fact that they make this weird ass Nebraska excuse. Like, they could have just refrained from mentioning Becky. They didn't, we make the joke, but like, we don't actually expect her to be in every single episode. Like, they should just ignore it.
Yeah, I just, it's so funny. It's like, listen to what Becky has to say.
Yeah.
She's a good parent.
Yeah. Yeah.
She would never pay for her children to get into college.
Oh, God.
I might be getting ahead of myself here. But, I'm guessing the last episode is going to be, like the actual triple wedding. And Becky obviously will not be there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I
need to know if they're going to use the same excuse. Are they going to make the Nebraska excuse again?
No, Becky just doesn't love DJ or Stephanie.
I mean,
she's
Michelle
like,
doesn't
Becky
even
wanted
come.
to make it.
Becky went to visit Michelle. That's what happened.
Yeah.
During the triple wedding.
Wouldn't it be great if they were like, Becky wanted to be here, but she's in a full body cast? Well, we're not going to talk anymore about it.
They bring out
but
Becky
she's
in
in
a full body
traction.
cast. It's just...
They just cut to Michelle and Becky both in the hospital next to each other in full body casts. So they're
going to have to make an excuse for Michelle, too. Because they have a third sister.
Okay, wait. I want to take a bet.
Michelle is dead. We've talked about this.
We've talked about this before.
I'm sorry, Michelle is dead.
We talked about this before, but I want to take a bet. I don't think they're going to mention Michelle in the finale. I don't think they're going to make an excuse. I think they're just going to rely on us not paying attention to the fact she isn't there.
Harrison, I think you're wrong. I think they're going to come full circle and they're going to stare into the camera for 10 minutes after mentioning Michelle.
My honest answer is I think there's going to be like one throwaway line where they're like, I wish Michelle could have been here. But I really hope it's what Zach said.
I hope it's
it
what
would
Zach
all come
said.
full circle.
I hope it's what Zach says. I think it's going to be they don't get a mention.
I do want to mention one more thing about this scene, which is that J Money has a throwaway line where he says, apropos of nothing, hey, did you know there was a movie where there were male Ghostbusters? It's not in response to anything, and no one responds to it.
Yeah.
Wait, he just kind of says that out loud for no reason.
Jesse's on the phone, and he's like, this is a crime, damn it. And DJ's like, what? And he says, this is gonna haunt my daughter for the rest of her life. And she says, are you gonna call the Ghostbusters? And then J Money says, did you know there was a movie with male Ghostbusters?
I missed that, but I kind of like it more because that's such a weak setup for that line.
Yeah, I honestly, I think I
what are we, a bunch of
Ghostbusters?
Fun fact.
I kind of prefer the version where he just says that randomly. Because I don't know, that's just one of my comedic buttons. Just like, if someone just says something. Like, there's one episode of Community where they're like, all right, does anybody else have anything they want to say? And Troy goes, yeah. Did you know Go-Gurt is just yogurt?
Yes.
Love it.
Stuff like that is amazing.
One, I had thought that was out of nowhere, but also I really wanted to highlight that line because I liked that line.
There's also a great line where Ramona says to Pamela, hey, let's come up to my room. We'll have some candy from my secret stash. Because she has that wall of candy that... Oh, no, that's in the other house. But she has a secret stash of candy, and J Money says, she's got a secret stash. We gotta go get it.
He's a very small part of this scene, but this is J Money's scene to shine.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
really good.
Anyway, we go to the vet clinic to Harmon Fuller Pet Care.
Yes.
Yes.
Guys,
During Flea Dip week. The most wonderful time of the year.
The most wonderful time of the year, the busiest time of the year.
Yeah.
And it's the busiest time of the year. But if you thought we were going to see fan favorite returning character Janet back, you'd be sorely mistaken.
Sadly,
no.
She's got the flu.
She got the flu.
No.
Cut to her next to Becky and Michelle in a full body cast.
It's just every single character who has like every single recurring character who hasn't shown up all season shows up at the very end in a full body cast.
There's just one writer who keeps pitching that. And every time they're like, yeah, I don't know. Sure.
It's like fucking George R.R. Martin just stormed into the Fuller House writer room one day and was like, you know what this show needs? Characters to die.
But anyway, they can't be without a receptionist during the most wonderful time and the busiest time of the year.
And I was hoping that J Money would be called in, forgetting that he had school logically, but
well, we were watching it and Harrison was like, shouldn't they get J Money, who's already done this and is really good at it? I said, yeah, what does he have, school?
During Flea Dip week, everyone knows it's a national holiday, Mark.
That's right. Oh my gosh, Harrison, you're so right. He has off for Flea Dip week. But it's not J Money who they approach, but instead, I didn't know how else to introduce her other than she just shows up. It's Kimmy Gibbler.
Kimmy shows up.
Yay!
Yeah.
Kimmy shows
She's taking a break from the war on clowns.
Yeah.
To serve as the receptionist during Flea Dip week.
Yeah.
Because everyone knows there's a national Flea Dip week armistice in which both sides lay down their weapons and declare
this
peace.
This episode has so much. We've created so much lore for this episode of the Fullest House Podcast.
Listen, we gotta build the world.
Yeah, we gotta.
If they're not gonna do it, we're putting it into our own hands.
What kind of money do you think the clowns use?
Ooh.
I think like it's like 10 giggle bucks equals a guffaw.
10 giggle bucks.
You need to know their economic system before you start writing.
Yes.
Oh my god.
But what geography is their country? Like, what are the landscapes like? What do they trade?
I think
what is their
it's like very
agriculture?
foamy and bouncy.
Yes.
Indeed.
Anyway, DJ is like, Kimmy, you can fill in. And Matt's like, I don't know if that's a good idea.
Yeah.
And
this is a very bad idea. But
and DJ's like, why not? And Matt tries to be nice, but then says, well, she's Kimmy. And they cut over to Kimmy and she's eating dog treats.
because that's wow. She's very intense.
She's so quirky, guys.
Like she's just shoveling them into her mouth.
Oh yeah,
Like
no
looking around
hesitation,
as if someone's going to
nothing.
stop her in a moment. Like, and she doesn't want to get caught.
In her defense, maybe it's like a Shaggy situation where Shaggy is a human who eats dog treats.
Yeah.
Mm.
That's such a
Kimmy
weird
Gibbler is the
thing.
Shaggy of
I never
Fuller
thought
House.
about
Although
that.
I feel like there's an implication, and any Scooby-Doo scholars out there can correct me.
Yeah.
But like in the movie Scoob, they're like a snack food that he then names Scooby after, and they sell Scooby snacks in the real world, which are just like little cookies. So maybe they're not dog treats and they're just giving Scooby cookies.
You know what? I'm going to go with that because that is a much more comfortable thought than the idea that Shaggy is eating dog treats.
Shaggy, we want to send you into this dangerous situation. Would you do it for a dog treat? No, I'm a human man.
Also, most dog treats I have seen are made of some kind of meat, and we already know Shaggy's a vegetarian. So
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
That's a Scooby fact, by the way. Watch any Scooby-Doo cartoon, and you'll notice he's almost always eating vegetables.
Because Casey Kasem was a vegetarian and he demanded it.
Yeah.
Anyway, Kimmy's eating dog treats. Next scene, Fernando walks in on Steph. She's eating a perfectly tossed watercress salad.
Yeah.
That Jimmy made for her because Jimmy is exceedingly thoughtful.
What if Fernando walked in and like mentioned the salad and she's like, "Yeah, I made it myself." Would his plan have just like fallen apart completely?
I think Fernando would have been like, "What? A woman cooking?" And it would have been a very like a deconstruction of like feminist ideas.
Oh my god.
And like misogyny, traditionally that's thought of as a female thing, but the fact that Fernando is doubting of it is like speaking to the fact that these people will never be satisfied.
Oh,
misogynists,
of course.
This is a very deep show
very
in
deep.
a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Zach, you seemed to be giggling. Did you have anything?
No, just giggling at all the funny jokes that y'all are making.
Lovely. But I kind of like it because Fernando's like, wow, Jimmy sure is considerate. And Stephanie goes, well, I'm very considerate too. And Fernando's like, I don't know about that.
I love how she immediately recognized Fernando was calling her out and got on the defensive right away. Like, I'm considerate.
Yep. And Fernando says to her, look, you missed Jimmy's birthday.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't notice that time he got a haircut. And you drove home with him clinging to the roof of your car. So if these things are true, objectively, Stephanie isn't super considerate.
Yeah. She needs to work on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she's like, she blames it on her music career and Danielle.
Remember when Jimmy had to quit his job to be a better father?
Yeah. Stephanie says, with Danny and the tour, I guess I've just been a little neglectful. And yeah, we fully had an episode where Jimmy had to drop his photography career because they were worried he wasn't going to be able to be there for the baby.
Yeah.
Which, to be fair, Steph is there for the baby.
Yeah.
Which I think is arguably more important than like, hey, you should make Jimmy a salad.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
But it turns out Steph was the one who was going to have some trouble in the family unit. Ruh-roh,
Raggy.
A human's not supposed to be eating those.
Oh my god.
Oh no. So anyway,
we come to Jesse, who is organizing his sting operation of toddlers.
Mm-hmm.
He has enlisted the help of J Money, Max, and Ramona. The plan is to give all of them cookies and match the bite marks to the bite mark on Pamela.
This is a very bad plan. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not going to be admissible evidence.
No,
yeah,
it's not.
I mean, are they going to bring it to the same court that Aunt Becky went to? I don't know.
I mean, the bite mark has got to like perfectly line up. I don't see how you could get that.
Mm-hmm.
Jesse does approach all of this with the zeal that makes it seem that he is in fact going to bring this to a judge.
Yeah.
Yes.
I legitimately thought he might. I also would just like to think he's on drugs. He very much has that manic performance.
Oh yeah, well, since Becky left him, it's been rough.
It has been rough.
I get it, because like dogs and it's Flea Dip week.
Yeah. But anyway, they have an easy bake oven.
What the?
That just fully registered with me. What?
Zach, what are you saying?
Wait, hold on.
Rough. Like the sound the dog makes. Like the sound the doggy makes.
I understand.
Rough?
But it was your phrasing of, I get it. Like, oh, I see what you've done.
Oh, God.
Honestly, I'd probably be having this reaction if you went, rough. Like it's like Flea Dip week. But I'd get that, just the fact that you're like, oh, you were making a joke. I love that you're trying to put this on me.
I'm trying my best here, guys.
I genuinely thought that was very funny. And the more I think about it, the more I'm like, that was very funny.
That was good.
You're like, oh, I see what you were doing there.
That was good.
Yeah,
no, it was
it's
good.
clever.
Yeah, it was not. It was good. I just didn't pick up on it fast enough.
Thank you.
Loved it. Love it. Love it.
Which serves as a transition back to Flea Dip week if that comes next. I
It
don't
does-
remember
Well, no,
the
it
order.
doesn't because
It does not.
we have not yet
God damn it!
introduced.
Before we introduce someone, I do just want to say the scene ends with like Ramona being like, "This is crazy," and then being like, "But I kind of want to see how it turns out." Because
Yes.
Ramona is down for anything.
Yeah, like
Yes.
that literally. Like, I feel like that was just kind of something we had noticed in the background of a bunch of the episodes recently, but now it's straight. They're acknowledging it.
Yeah,
They're acknowledging that Ramona will just do whatever.
Ramona is fully like, "I just want to see how this turns out.
This-
I live for chaos. I just want to see."
Ramona is pure chaotic neutral.
But then we get to a very special introduction. Harrison, do you want to take it?
Yeah, the return of our favorite character, probably.
Is it Baseball Christie?
Sadly, no.
Baseball Christie's back again?
That
Is it
would've been
Macy
great.
Gray?
That would have been even better. But no, we
So
have,
Janet is back.
Is it Chad Bradley?
Okay, we have a lot of favorite characters that I thought we would
No,
never
wait,
see.
no, it's Coco.
Oh man, I wish it was Coco. No, it's Josh Peck.
Harrison, tell us who it is.
It's Josh Peck.
Josh Peck!
As millennial dad Ben.
Yeah, his millennial dad Ben.
That's been credible.
Ben Crowder.
I see what you did there, like Ben, like the name of the character.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
Yep. That was very funny, Mark.
Thank you. Yeah, Josh Peck is back.
Yeah.
So many characters we thought we'd never
Yay.
see again are returning.
It's so
It
great.
makes me very happy.
I do hope Coco comes back.
I
I
hope
hope
so.
so. It's not
I
gonna
hope she's
happen.
doing well. I know she's still alive.
Ramona needs a dumb but
I
well-meaning
know.
friend.
Ramona needs a dumb friend.
who just wants her goddamn carbs and is being deprived of them by her
But,
terrible friend group.
We find out that Josh Peck wanted to hang out with Uncle Jesse after they last, met,
Yeah.
and Uncle Jesse ghosted him. He can't remember his name.
Yeah.
And he calls him Pete when he says, "Oh, my name's Ben." He says, "Well, we'll just call you Pete."
Yeah.
That good for you, Pete? Uncle Jesse
Yeah.
is mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like if I went to you and I was like, "Oh, hi, what's your name?" "Oh, my name's Bob." I was like, "Okay, fuck that. I'm just gonna call you Billy. How's it going, Billy?" And it's like, no, that's
Well, yeah, and the person will respond, "Well, thank you, because I'm actor Billy Bob Thornton, and I'm glad that you recognized me."
You know what? Good on you, Mark, for saving this bit.
And you'd be like, "Well, I'm such a huge fan. I love Bad Santa. Your Turn in Love, Actually. I think you're just a really good actor." And he's like, "Thank you. This is what Billy Bob Thornton sounds like."
Yeah.
Yep. It's the actual Billy Bob Thornton who's
actual-
here with us right
He's
now.
here with us.
Our newest guest star.
Our newest full-time cast member, famous actor Billy Bob Thornton.
Yeah. Anyway.
Anyway, now things are gonna get a little rough because
I get it.
Uh-huh.
I don't need to explain it this time, but
No,
I see what you did there.
you all get it. He
Yeah.
gets it.
This guy over here, this guy. Come on.
We go back to the vet clinic, where Kimmy has made some changes, including she's now organizing the files not alphabetically, but according to adorability.
Yeah.
So Cosmo is first, which seems like nepotism to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she says, "And this hideous dog with an underbite is last." And they cut to the dog, and it's adorable.
Yeah. What
Yeah.
the fuck, Jimmy?
What the fuck, Kimmy?
It's this adorable little like pug or something. I don't think it was a pug. It was something.
I don't think it
else.
was a pug. It was like it kind of had a pug-like face, but it was fluffier than a pug
Yeah,
normally
yeah.
is. It was kind of fluffy.
Everyone knows the least cute pet is Jimbo the Sasquatch, who comes in every day for a cleaning.
He comes in every day for a cleaning. He comes in. He goes to Starbucks. Comes in for his daily cleaning.
Yeah, Jimbo is hideous.
Yeah.
I mean, like, great guy, but just between us and anyone lining to this podcast, real stinker
Yeah.
in the looks department.
He is a Sasquatch, so I would expect so.
Yeah. I mean, he's a philosopher. He's a poet. He's really smart, really
Yeah.
caring and considerate, a good friend, but just like truly ugly.
Yeah.
Sorry, Jimbo.
Which, you know, he's
doesn't listen to
beautiful on
this.
the inside, you know?
doesn't listen to
He doesn't listen to this. We can say what we want. This is, by the way, listeners, this is not how I actually talk about my real friends. It's only how I talk about my fictional Sasquatch friends.
Yes, in case you weren't aware, Jimbo the Sasquatch is not real.
Sometimes it's fun to pretend to be a bad person, but then it makes me feel bad.
Yeah. But anyway, Chibi is making lots of changes. She's canceled all the appointments on Saturday because it's the Sabbath, and she's having a bark mitzvah for
I don't know if she
dog.
For Shlomo the dog,
for
who is
Shlomo the dog.
I think that's implied.
Shlomo the dog, who is
Shlomo
becoming
the
a man.
dog, who is becoming
Shlomo the dog.
Yeah.
Yep.
And at this point, we've realized our spin-off podcast, the Jewish Wolves podcast, has never become more relevant than it is at this moment. Tyler, can you play the intro, please?
Yeah.
Thank you, Tyler.
This is now the
thank
Jewish
you.
Wolves podcast, where I'm still getting ready to bite that child and turn it into a werewolf. Anyway.
Harrison's a Jewish werewolf.
Yeah.
How come I never saw it before?
Well, because we've always made sure to stay away from his house on the full moon.
That's why
Mark.
I've never
Yeah.
seen you on a full moon or on the
Yeah.
Sabbath. Or no, that's
Or
why
on
I've
the
never seen you
Sabbath.
on the full moon, but I always see you in shul.
But what
Yes.
happens if the full moon takes place on the Sabbath?
Well, that's a real conundrum for
It's
For a
a real
Jewish
conundrum
werewolf.
For me, yeah.
He just like shows up to a normal service, but in wolf form.
yeah. Look, he can't let werewolfism get in the he can't let lycanthropy get in the way of davening.
Thank you, Mark, for
Yes.
using the proper term. Werewolfism
Yes.
is such a pejorative term. It's really hurt my people.
Yeah, we'd like to formally apologize to the werewolf community for Mark's use of that word.
I've said some things I'm not proud of in the past. But I'm trying to take that in. I'm taking full accountability. These are things I said.
You know, as long as you're willing
They
to
aren't right
grow as a
now and they weren't
person.
right then.
Old tweets resurfaced where Mark uses a bunch of werewolf slurs. Canceled on
But
Twitter.
I'm trying
Oh God.
to do better. I'm trying to take that knowledge into my life every day and be a better friend to the werewolf community.
I appreciate that, Mark. I appreciate
I'm
that.
glad. You're my friend. You're my
Thank you.
friend and I care about you.
Thank you.
Mhm.
But yeah, so there's going to be a bark mitzvah, and DJ is not happy about it.
There's a line I like a lot where like Matt finds out about this. He's like, "Why is everything canceled?" And they explain, and Matt's like, "Look, we're in the middle of our busiest time of the year, and we're hosting parties for dogs." And it's just the like straightforward articulation of it.
But Matt, you don't understand. Shlomo the dog is becoming a man.
It's becoming a man.
It'll be the bark
Werewolf
mitzvah
bar
of the
mitzvah,
century.
Spooky, scary. Boys
becoming
becoming
men.
men. Men becoming wolves.
Kimmy uses some Yiddish. It's very good. DJ repeats back to Matt what Kimmy told her, that, look, it's going to be excellent word of mouth for us, which isn't a good excuse.
No.
And also, but DJ really wants to defend Kimmy.
And Matt says, "Oy vey, I'm already schwitzing," which made us so happy.
And
So good.
yeah, which really reminds me, like, they should have brought in Fernando, the only canonically Jewish character on the show.
So he could come in his Jewish guise from that one episode and make
Yes.
things even more anti-Semitic. They're not
Yeah.
super anti-Semitic.
No, they're not.
No.
They're not.
Well, there's also, you know, the possibility that Fernando and I are distantly related.
Yes, of course.
Yep.
The herring empire your family started.
Yeah.
But Steph calls DJ asking for advice about what she should do for Jimmy. And DJ's like, "Have you ever cooked for him?" And Stephanie said, "I did, but last time I drove a car through the kitchen."
Just do that again. Not the
Yeah.
car part.
Yep.
Yeah, everything that did not involve driving a car through the side of the house, do that again. Not the car stuff.
The food was great. Not the car.
Yeah.
So Steph is gonna cook for Jimmy. Next scene, the youths are having a hard time finding the biting culprit. Obviously, they're not looking at Harrison.
Well, yes, they suspect a child. Can
I ask you something?
What?
Can I ask you something? Why do you want to make a child into a werewolf?
Well,
Oh my
it's
God.
more like I'm killing two birds with one stone. I have to turn
Ow.
someone into a werewolf.
Okay.
So why not a child?
So why
What's
not
the
the
other
child?
bird? Okay.
Makes perfect sense.
You know what they say? I have one reason for doing what I'm doing. It's like killing two birds with one stone.
Well, you know why I want to bite the child. And I am a werewolf.
Oh, you want to bite Tommy because he's a bad baby?
No, you want to bite Tommy because he's a bad baby. I want to bite the child because they stole my lollipop.
Oh, right.
And I'm completely innocent in all of
Yeah.
this.
Right, so it is killing two birds with one stone.
It is killing
Or turning a baby into a werewolf with a
Yes. You gotta indoctrinate them early so they can be brought into the faith. The
Oh my
Jewish
God.
werewolf faith.
But yeah, none of the bite marks on the cookies match.
Yeah.
Oh no.
What's going on? And Jesse accosts all the children and says, "Which one of you hasn't had a cookie?" And Josh Peck's like, "Well, actually, Finn doesn't eat processed sugar."
Yeah.
Aha! What a twist! Obviously, Finn did it.
Yeah. So he bites the apple and it makes a
Yeah, Jesse.
Yeah.
Jesse gives him like an apple slice and he bites into
yeah.
it.
Yeah. And apparently, it's a perfect match, the bite mark, which is a little strange considering the evidence that we see later that Finn does not have the same bite as the bite
Yeah.
on Pamela's
It's almost
arm.
like bite mark evidence is bad.
Yeah. It's almost like two people can have similar bite marks. Like,
Yeah. So Uncle Jesse goes up and is like, "Hey, Josh Peck, your son bit my daughter." And Josh Peck is like, "What? My child would never. He would never do anything wrong. I mean, yes, he called one person by the wrong pronouns that one time, but that was one time."
Yeah.
They do make a joke about that. It wasn't that.
They
it was
do.
something
They
like
mention
that.
Misusing
he's
gender
misused
pronouns,
some pronouns. Do you think he said werewolfism instead of lycanthropy?
Yes, definitely.
I'll stop saying it. I'll stop saying the W word. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's
God,
okay.
you're gonna get this
It was in
episode
the
demonetized.
It's okay. It was in the context. The right context.
Okay, thank you. I'm glad.
Harrison's handing you the W word pass.
But Jesse is confronting Josh Peck and saying, "Oh, he couldn't have bitten her." And Josh Peck suddenly breaks and says, "He couldn't have bitten her because he wasn't at school that day because we were at Disneyland."
Yeah.
And Josh Peck has this breakdown about giving money to a soulless, faceless corporation, which, by the way, it has a face, and that face is Mickey Mouse.
Yes.
The face is a mouse. It's a mouse face.
It's a mouse face.
Yeah.
It's a cartoon mouse face. And he had a churro.
Be better, Ben. Be better.
Yep.
I like
He's
that.
very angry
Yeah,
with
it was
himself,
good.
and it's very good.
Yeah.
And then we find the true culprit because Pamela is biting herself. She just likes Band-Aids, so she bit herself to get a Band-Aid. And that's how this side plot ends.
I like
It's
that
really
twist.
good. Jesse, I think that's very funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also Jesse says, like, "Look, you can just ask me for Band-Aids. I'll give you Band-Aids." She says, like, "Okay, Daddy," and then she leaves.
I love
Yep.
that so much. She just wants a Band-Aid and thinks that she has to get injured to have a Band-Aid. Yeah, it's so cute.
But Jesse apologizes to Josh Peck, and Josh Peck forgives him because, as he says, forgiveness is a hug you give to your soul.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
then they actually hug.
It's a very
And-
one-sided hug. But
And
it is a
I
hug.
think it's all gonna
Indeed.
be all right.
Yeah.
Yay.
Steph is cooking for Jimmy, and for some reason she's fully dressed as a 1950s housewife.
Yeah,
do this?
that was... I don't know why that was there,
Two
but...
separate times someone asks her why she's dressed like that, and both times she does not give an answer.
No.
She just
Yeah, there is no clear answer.
she just wants to dress as a 50s housewife to cook dinner.
Jimmy comes
Yeah.
home and says, Why are you dressed like that? Is it Halloween? Am I dying? Who's dying?
Very good.
Who's Jimmy? Good. Who am I?
But anyway, Stephanie made him a meal. It includes Sunny Delight. She found the baseball shirt that he wore when they first kissed, and she washed it for him, but it shrunk in the wash. Now it's like the perfect size for a baby, I guess. I don't know if it would fit a werewolf baby.
No,
depends on the type of lycanthropy. But
Jimmy is just living his best life, and he tries to put it on, even though it is very clearly too small for him.
Yep.
And he's like, this shirt was great. I loved it as a shirt, but I think I like it even more as a hat.
And he wears it on his head.
He's trying his best.
Stephanie says, I made you some red velvet cake. He says, I'm allergic to red food dye. And she says, of course, I used only natural dyes. And he starts eating it and is like, well, then how did you get it red? It's so good. She says, oh, I used beets. And then Jimmy has what, oddly enough, might be my favorite line of the episode, where he just goes, oh, I'm very allergic to beets.
Yes. How does he eat any red velvet cake?
I assume he doesn't. And they imply he's too stupid to know not to, because he keeps eating it. And Stephanie has to take it away.
He says he's very allergic, and Steph tries to help him out, and then he goes for another bite, despite already having a reaction to the beets.
And not to spoil anything, but later on, other characters are eating the red velvet cake, and Stephanie says we have to eat it before Jimmy gets to it. So yeah, he's just too dumb to know.
He's just too dumb to stop eating red velvet cake. That would kill him.
But we go back to the vet clinic. Kimmy is not around because she is sign spinning outside in a Dalmatian costume.
Mm-hmm.
And DJ tries to make some excuses, and Matt is like, she is bad at this. You have to fire her. This is a problem.
Yes.
Yep.
Our stock is going through the floor, DJ.
So DJ fires Kimmy, and Kimmy's like, you're firing me? Why? This always happens. Why isn't it? I can't last. Why is it I can't keep a job for even one day? And DJ's like, because you're you, and all the things that make you bad at this job make you great at your other job. By the way, have we seen Kimmy plan a party in at least 3 seasons?
No, we have not.
That's not
I don't
fair.
think so.
We've seen her do stuff. Steph worked for her.
That's true.
Yeah, but how long ago did Steph work for her?
It was season 4, right? That's when she quit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I just mean we didn't see them actively planning a lot of parties.
Yeah.
But it's very much in the Fuller House, and more specifically DJ school of, no, you don't need to change ever.
No. Change is a bad thing.
Yeah. But she says, Kimmy, you're perfect as is. You're good at your real job, and you just do you. Then she gets a call from Stephanie that something is horribly wrong, and DJ rushes out. There's a little line where Matt says, what's wrong? And DJ says, Steph tried to cook. And they all go,
dun, dun, dun.
Steph made a whole Thanksgiving dinner, and you even liked what you ate of it.
Yeah, what a weird joke.
Steph not being able to cook has not been Steph cooks.
Also, the next scene is so weird because, I'm getting ahead of myself. No,
it's fine. The DJ goes to the hospital, and she's like, is Jimmy okay? And Steph's like, yeah, the doctors are just putting a cast on his toe or something. And we find out that they gave Jimmy Benadryl, which cured his allergies.
Yeah.
But Steph dropped a chair on his toe, and that's why they're in the emergency room.
Which,
why?
One, how does that relate to her cooking? 2, why did DJ need to come to the hospital if it's just a fractured toe? I don't get that.
Well, because Stephanie and Jimmy are children and they needed an adult.
I guess so. But she doesn't even do anything in this scene. Whatever.
No.
Yeah.
But Stephanie is like, maybe I'm not good at caring for taking care of anybody. I'm hurting Jimmy every time I try to take care of him. And they're like, no, Jimmy loves you and it's all good and you love him. And Jimmy walks out and he's like, I love you. And they're just happy to have found each other and it's very sweet. But Steph is still not considerate.
No, she's still not.
No.
That has not been resolved. But it's okay. We're moving past it.
Yep. And we have our last scene where the she-wolves, the moms, the ladies, they're with Jesse and they're all eating the red velvet cake.
So that Jimmy can't get to it.
So Jimmy can't get to it. Kimmy says there are no hard feelings about being fired because they're just moving the bar mitzvah to Shlomo's house. And she
also,
still
can we
has
talk about
the
how
job.
they named the dog Shlomo?
I'm very glad they named the dog Shlomo.
Yes.
It's great.
It's so good.
It's really good. And Jesse says, like, you were right, DJ. I should have done the opposite of what I did. And DJ gives him the same speech she gave to Kimmy where she says, but that's what makes you, you. And Jesse goes, you're right. I'm perfect. And he keeps eating and the episode ends.
Yeah.
Which I think is a fun little joke. And also an encapsulation of a lot of the ethos of this show where it's like, no, everything bad you do is just part of what makes you, you. You're right. I'm perfect and never need to change.
Take responsibility for your actions, show.
Stories are usually about change, and it's funny how aggressively this one is not.
Yeah. It's odd.
Anyway, I think that brings us through this episode.
And to our favorite segment, Sad Boy of the Week.
Yes. And
Yes,
unlike last week, I think we have some pretty clear nominees.
I have 2 ideas for contenders that I think are pretty strong. Maybe 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have 3. Yeah.
Go for it.
Ben,
yeah.
Josh Peck, Jesse,
Yes, that's exactly
for
who I
sure.
was going to say. Yeah.
For sure.
and our favorite boy, Jiminy Gibbler.
Ooh.
I was going to suggest
also
Steph.
thinking Matt. Ooh, Matt and Steph.
Oh my god. We have a 5-way race here. We can cut some out, of course, but that's the 5 nominees.
I feel like Matt doesn't have as good of a case, but I wanted to at least mention him.
Let's mention him. It's just when we have a lot of nominees, I'm like, oh, I have to say the cases of all these people. We can include them because I think Matt and Steph. I don't know if it's a lot of like specific events, but it's like their general vibes in this episode.
Yeah, I think so.
But I think we should cap it at those 5 nominees, unless I missed.
I think
anyone.
so. I
Yeah,
think
I
we're
think
good
so.
there.
Yeah.
Janet, because she has the flu, and Becky, because she's in jail or divorced from Jesse.
Or Michelle because she's dead.
By the way, can we talk about how, like, is it suspicious that Janet got the flu and can't be in for the week, their busiest week? Like, did Janet, do you really have the flu?
Oh, yeah, I was going to say that. I think Janet just cut out of
And
work.
Miss Flea Dip Week? Mark, are you crazy?
Right. She's not. Well, she's going to be visited by 3 ghosts who are
3
going
ghostly fleas.
who are going to teach her the true meaning of
Dip.
Flea Dip Week.
Are they flea ghosts?
Yes.
Nice.
The flea ghost of Christmas. Sorry. A flea
The ghost
week
of Christmas flea.
Anyway, Matt is just really put upon in this episode. He's immediately like, Janet's not here. And DJ's like, well, Kimmy will do it. And Matt says, but she's Kimmy. No.
Yeah.
And then Kimmy screws everything up in his business, cancels all of his appointments, makes him say, oy vey, I'm already schwitzing. DJ tries to make an excuse saying, when Kimmy's not in there because she's outside sign spinning and wearing a dog costume, Matt asks, where is she? And DJ says, she was so upset at how you didn't believe in her that she's in the bathroom crying and you better go apologize. And Matt says, that's her outside spinning a sign in a dog costume. And it's very good. And I think that's pretty much Matt. Just very harried, and Kimmy is ruining his life in this episode.
Yes.
There's Steph, who arrives home from her big tour with Lisa Loeb.
Indeed.
She's immediately greeted by more attention than she was expecting. So she comes up with a very bad lie and says, I got you these half-finished peanuts.
Yay!
Fernando points out to her that she's not considerate, and she says, what? I'm totally considerate. And then Fernando's like, no, and I have facts to back that up.
Yep.
So she goes into this spiral about being considerate. She dresses up like a 50s housewife for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's never explained.
It's
Just
never
because she
explained.
feels like it.
She just does that.
Yeah. You didn't have to, Steph. I guess she's trying out her WandaVision cosplay.
Yes.
Yeah,
She did look very WandaVision.
That's what I was thinking, is that she looked like Wanda in the first episode of WandaVision.
But Steph, she ruins her fiance's favorite shirt. She accidentally poisons him. Then when she fixes it, she accidentally breaks his toe. And that's Steph, baby.
Baby.
Josh Peck. Josh Peck was ghosted by Uncle Jesse, who who he really wanted to be his friend.
Mm-hmm.
His child is accused of biting another child. He then freaks out and has a meltdown over the fact that they went to Disneyland, and that's against all of his beliefs. And in the end, he makes friends with Uncle Jesse, which I do think is a little sad.
Well, he makes friends with Uncle Jesse, who still does not want to be friends with him.
Yeah. Uncle Jesse is obviously still going through a midlife crisis.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
He is this close to calling the police on a child because a child bit his daughter. Becky obviously left him. He does a whole sting operation to find out who bit his daughter. I'm not afraid to say it. It's too much. He went too far.
Just a bit. Just a bit.
I feel like that's a fair assessment.
Went too far. He accuses a child based on faulty evidence. By the way, we didn't quite mention it. We alluded to it. But at one point he says, we're going to find out who it is. Then either Pamela or me will bite the child in retaliation. Like, he fully wants to bite a child.
Also, Pamela knows who bit her.
Yeah.
Well, he's going over like the sting operation, and Max is just like, so best case scenario, this ends with a child being bit.
Yeah.
But
So Uncle Jesse wants to bite a child. He accuses a child of being a biter with faulty evidence.
Mm-hmm.
And then he finds out, his daughter bit herself because she likes Band-Aids. And when he tries to have like a Full House style lesson with her, she just goes, okay, and moves on.
Yep.
And we're finally at Jiminy Gibbler.
Yeah.
Jimmy puts a lot of effort into making things special for Steph when she arrives home, and she completely forgot about him.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
He continues to put a lot of effort into things, and it's great. He says it's like Christmas in December, which is just Christmas, Jimmy. That's just Christmas.
That's just Christmas.
The second most wonderful time of the year after Flea Dip week.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
His favorite shirt gets ruined. He gets poisoned. He has my favorite line. I am very allergic to beets.
I am very
allergic to beets. He has that moment where he freaks out because he thinks maybe it's Halloween or maybe he's dying. Liked it a lot. And his toe gets broken. He also has a line that I really like where he says, look, Steph, when I met you, I was living in a van I was living in an RV in a Walmart parking lot eating fries for every meal. And now my life is even better.
Jimmy is the best, but
Jimmy's
I feel like
best.
I gotta give the nod here to the one, the only, John Stamos, TV's John Stamos, Uncle Jesse from Full House. He's gotta get my vote here.
I am glad that someone agrees with me. He was so sad.
It's gotta be Jesse.
I have to give it to him.
I really want to give it to Jimmy because I think Jimmy made me laugh the most.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But biting a child.
Yeah, it's the
I think that puts it over the top.
It's the saddest thing they could have come up with.
He wants to bite a child.
It's Uncle Jesse.
Yeah. Could you imagine a grown man wanting to bite a child? Man, I'm sure glad none of us would ever do that.
Yeah. In all seriousness, people, I'm not going to bite a child. I hope you know that,
thank God.
audience.
You weren't actually going to make a child a werewolf? What? Anyway, Zach, I think you should do the outro.
That's going to be it for another episode of the Fullest House Podcast. If you like what you just listened to, feel free to like our Facebook page and follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Fullest House Pod. Once again, I'm Zach Horowitz.
I'm Mark Greene.
And I'm Harrison Bloom.
And until next time, may your houses be fuller, and may your dogs become men.